Hi, my name's Abby Bliss White with Bliss Holistic Health, and I wanted to welcome you back to Sundays Well Spent. So today we are going to embark on making a whole roasted chicken. So often everybody thinks this is super hard, and I have to admit I've had a lot of ups and downs with making whole roast chickens, and will often default to just buying rotisserie chicken at Whole Foods or New Seasons, which is our local grocery store. But today I have found a recipe that works, and I wanted to share that with you. And it's really simple, and it makes its own little side dish as well. So we are going to start with just some simple ingredients. We've got a yellow onion here. I've got 2 carrots that I've washed and peeled. I have 1 large sweet potato. You could also just use some Yukon potatoes as well, but my love of sweet potatoes, so we're going to use that. I have a whole organic chicken here, and then I've got lemon and salt, pepper, and olive oil. So that is it. So we are going to put together our whole roasted chicken. First things first, we want to preheat the oven to 425. So go ahead and preheat the oven. And then to that, let's go ahead and get our veggies started. So I am just going to start with my onion. I'm going to cut off the ends of it. Make sure there's no stickers on there. Cutting the ends off, and the great thing about this is that you're chopping, it's a rough chop, so you do not need to be very precise with anything, which you know I love. Okay, so we are going to remove our skin from the from the onion, and then remove the skin here. And then I am just going to set this into little quarters, and I'm going to stick this in to my oven-proof skillet. And so I'm using my favorite Le Creuset baking dish here, but you can use, the onion is strong, a black cast iron skillet would work great as well, just something that's oven-proof. Okay, strong onion. Okay. We're going to put these onions just as a base here, and then I'm going to go ahead and start with my carrots. And again, I'm doing a rough chop. That's the beauty of this recipe, is that you already have a side ready to go. And I am literally just cutting them into about inch chunks right here, as my eyes are way watering here. I'm going to cut the bottom off of my second carrot, and I'm just going to chop this down here. Nice little chunks. We want to make a bed of vegetables, and this is what the chicken is going to lay on, okay? So I have washed my sweet potato. I like to leave the skin on. It has some extra nutritious properties to the skin, but if you wanted to, you can peel your potato. Okay, making this into little chunks here, and I'm making pretty big, kind of heartier chunks, and I'm going to place this in my dish, and then we're going to chop a little bit more. Sorry guys, that little onion got me. Okay, another little rough chop. Again, placing this in my bottom of the dish, and I'll show you what it looks like in 2 seconds. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to go with this. Okay, now that we have got all of our veggies in the bottom of your dish, I want to go ahead and coat that with about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I just give that a little swirl, as well as some sea salt. I'm using Himalayan pink sea salt here. Give that a nice little drizzle, as well as some black pepper. And then I'm going to grab a quick spoon, and we're going to give this, just make sure that this is coated, all of these veggies. Okay, so now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and place our bird on top of this bed of veggies, but I just want to make sure that these are all nicely coated with that olive oil. You can also use coconut oil. Just go ahead. There we go. Okay, so now I have taken the innards out of this chicken, so make sure that you look in the cavity. You do not want to have that little bag of goodies in there. I have washed it and then I patted it dry. So we are going to deal with the raw chicken here. And you are going to flip it. The front side is the breast, and I want you to actually flip it on to its back, just like this. And then we are going to sprinkle it. 1 minute, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to sprinkle it with a little sea salt and pepper. But you always want to make sure to keep your hands nice and clean. We don't want to get any chicken residue, raw chicken residue everywhere. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of sprinkling of our sea salt. Give it a nice little minute, and then we're going to put some pepper on it. Okay, now we are going to add a nice squeeze. We have half a lemon here, and we are going to give this chicken a little spritz of citrus all over the chicken here. Good, just like this. And then we are ready to put it in the preheated oven. So here's the trick. We have to flip it about 20 minutes in. So this is why, you guys, I've tried all sorts of recipes, different ways, and this is my tried and true roast chicken. So we're gonna put this in at 425 for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to pull it back out and flip it over, and I will be back in a few minutes after we do that. So say goodbye, chicken, you're going in. Gotta put that in. Okay, set your timer for 20 minutes and I will see you in just a little bit. Okay, we are back and it has been 20 minutes, and I'm gonna pull that bird out, and then we're gonna do quick little switcheroo. Okay, look, it's turning out so beautiful already. Okay, so from here, we are going to lift the bird up, and I suggest using some tongs, and I like to just pick it up from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it up briefly, and then I'm going to add a cup of chicken broth to the veggies. Okay, so we're going to create a little lovely steam and sauce here. I am using store-bought, I love the Pacific organic bone broth, but you can also just use chicken broth as well. I like this because it adds a little bit more protein to the mix. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to lift this guy up, my lovely chicken. I'm going to pour in my bone broth, and then you can see I'm already starting to get a little juice from the chicken. And then we're going to flip this guy over. We're flipping this over, so now we have our breasts, okay? So now our chicken breasts are going to be up here. And then on this side, we want to go ahead and squeeze some lovely lemon all over. Oh. So I don't know if you could see that, but chicken just went all over my chicken. Lemon just went all over my kitchen. Okay, so we got him all lemoned up, little freshness, and then I'm going to add in the rest, or the remaining amount of salt Give it a nice little seasoning here of salt and some pepper. And then we are gonna put this guy back in the oven for 40 minutes. So basically after 40 minutes, it's gonna be cooked all the way through, hopefully. We'll give it a check. And it's gonna be nice and golden brown. So this is where these chickens start to get lovely. So I'm going to come back in about 40 minutes and then we're gonna finish up. I'm gonna show you the finished product and also giving it, we're gonna teach you how to give it a little rest time, okay? So with all birds, you want to, once you take it out of the oven, I'm gonna tent it with a little aluminum foil and let it rest for about 10 minutes, okay? So I will be back. See you in a minute. Welcome back. So we are finishing up our whole roasted chicken and I have taken it out of the oven. Once it reached 165 degrees, you could use a meat thermometer. That took about 40 minutes. And when you're seeing the chicken juices running clear, that's another sign that the chicken is cooked. But just to be safe, it is always good to go ahead and use a meat thermometer and make sure. So I took it out, I removed the chicken, and then I tented it, and then I want to show you the beauty. It is nice and golden, and it is ready to go. So the great thing about having a whole roasted chicken is that you can have this as your protein for the week ahead. Or depending on just a meal for your family this evening. So here are the wonderful juices. I love anything that's a one-pot meal. And so these lovely veggies have cooked down in the chicken juices and are nice and tender. So we're gonna put some of those in the bottom. And then we will go ahead and slice up a little of our chicken breast. Looks so pretty. Oopsie daisy. Yes, I'm not the best at. It is still a little hot here. I'm just going to remove some of the breast and add a little bit of that to our dish here. And we are ready to go. There we go. Oh, lovely hot. So we've got our lovely roasted chicken. I'm actually going to let that cool down a little before handling it. But basically you have got a wonderful meal all ready to go, all in one dish. You could also, once this cools down just a little bit, pull off the chicken and just have it ready to go to add, of course, to your lunch salads or as a quick entree for your meals ahead. So anyways, I will have this recipe in your packet. Thank you so much for coming and thank you. Bye-bye.
Don't think I've been this nervous with the cold drink in my 2 hands saying